Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back to talk to you a little bit about the tarot cord cutting combo that I offer clients, okay, and the healing work that I do. I've been meaning to put out this video for a while now, but I just finally have gotten around to doing it. So basically, the cord cutting combo started off. I used to do just the hour individual session. That's how it started. And then once I started doing more healing work and I felt comfortable doing healing work, I would offer an extended session for my clients that wanted to do the healing work. Now it is, I'm trying to really, I guess, focus on making sure that I have enough time to do both. Okay, so the cord cutting tarot combo is for people who are interested in either cutting cords from previous relationships and healing, getting some healing for what has transpired, in those relationships. Okay. The first hour of the session is spent really talking about the relationship or the person in question. I have to really dig deep and figure out if this is a karmic relationship. Are there still things that need to be learned? If there are still things that need to be learned, then I cannot do, and I don't do any kind of cord cutting with the angels at all for that. Okay. But it's something that I would need to figure out in the session. So in the event that it is a karmic relationship, and it's not something that I would do, I would just give you credit for that time should I get into the session and find that it's a karmic relationship and I just don't do it. It's important to have the discussion anyways, because I feel like everybody that schedules a tarot cord cutting combo with me really learns a lot about relationships, about themselves, and really gets to the heart of what's going on in each relationship and how they can best heal. Sometimes I get in there and, it's not cord cutting that needs to be done. It's maybe a heart healing or, some what I call defogging and debunking, So it's one of those things where the cord cutting isn't necessarily needed, but other things are. Okay. So I usually spend the first hour of time with my clients talking about these things. And it is super important. Sorry, there was a fuzz there. It was super important to understand what's being removed and understand what's been learned from that person in your life. If someone was to, like a light worker, was to go in with the angels and just remove it, they haven't necessarily really grasped why that person is in their life, and so therefore the angels really only remove part of it. There's still going to be things that will need to be learned, so it's really not going to do that much good. Cords are there. Cords of attachment are there. When I talk about cords, I talk mainly about the cord of attachment, because the cord of love the angels can't touch. So it's sort of just like when people talk about removing cords, it's the cord of attachment that they're talking about. Cords of attachment are there. Well, they naturally form when you sleep with someone, okay? But the whole idea is when you get attached to someone, there's like an invisible psychic connection between you and that other person, okay? It's like a wire that goes between you and that other person, and that hooks into their energy and into yours. So when the cord is cut, okay, by Archangel Michael, then and removed, then it's no longer exists in existence, okay? You can still get attached to that person again because a new cord will form, but the old cord will, and all those old lessons and all that old junk that was, part of the relationship, any negativity, paranoia, fear, all that information, the psychic information will cease to exist, okay? So it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't hurt the other person. However, if that person is there because of a karmic reason, a soul contract that specifically you're supposed to learn specific things from that person, then the angels will not remove it. So it's very important for me to look into it more, like I said, and try to figure it out and get into the nitty-gritty of it. So the last half hour of the session is used on just the healing work. Now, the healing work itself is mainly done through one long prayer. Okay, and other light workers have other techniques, but this is how I do it, and I've never had any complaints, and I do it in a very safe and of the highest integrity, because it's important for people to understand the relationships. People come into our life for a reason, and there are lessons to be learned for a reason. Okay, but B, to understand that, it's a respect thing. Messing around with somebody's energy is not something that you want somebody else doing, without permission. So my clients have to give permission, my guides have to give permission, the angels have to give permission, and I generally have to feel really good about it, to go in there and work with the angels to do it. But it is one long prayer. It is all of the light, and the prayer itself usually begins with me calling in the angels, saying a special blessing for the session, calling in some guides to be of service, and then I ask for permission, and I go and work with the angels to do what I need to do. And then say a final blessing. This is a short version. Say a final blessing, and that's really it. And I also send the person, if we're doing any cord cutting, the person that we're removing the cord between you and that person, light and love and blessings and all that. So it's done very, very cautiously, carefully, and with integrity. I learned the technique that I use through Reiki masters, and other psychics, light workers that do this kind of thing. That's how I learned. But ultimately, it's intention. Okay, it's about having. I'm very strong-minded, and I am psychic, and I can see very clearly what I'm doing, and so that way I feel like pretty much anybody can do this kind of work, but they have to have the intention. It has to be the intention behind it, and they have to understand that. So it's important to understand. A lot of people say, well, I've cut cords myself and all that. But a lot of times they don't necessarily maybe have the clarity, or they have the intention behind it to really do what needs to be done. However, when you have somebody else work on you, it's that separation. It's almost like when you're trying to do it yourself, you're very close to it. But when you have somebody else do it, they can see things that maybe you can't. So that would be the benefit of having me do it, or somebody else do the work, the heavy lifting. And the thing is that it's very healing, the whole process. I mean, it is in prayer, okay? So for those people who are very religious, I mean, it is one long prayer, and it's working with the angels. And I work with Archangel Michael, Archangel Samuel, Archangel Gabriel, Raphael. Raphael is the one that does the healing specifically, but Michael does the cord cutting. I kind of separate them that way, but the angels are really, they all kind of work as one in a way, okay? They're all light entities, so they all kind of work as one. But so that's the tarot cord cutting combo in a nutshell, okay? Any other healing work that I might do, and I'm going to kind of look at my little list because there's a whole bunch of other things I want to talk to you about. Okay, so if I'm talking about doing what I call defogging, debunking. If somebody's feeling very depressed, feeling very low, feeling like they have a dark cloud hanging over their head, or they have a lot of fear, or they have a lot of doubt, I work with Archangel Michael to clear that away, okay? And Archangel Michael, I'd call on him and have him go in with his heavenly vacuum and remove that. Or I would net it, okay? Because all that stuff is just kind of gunk energetically, and I can go in and I can net it. And it is one of the very fun things that I feel like it makes me really happy to do. I don't know why. I get a kick out of it, and I feel really good about doing it. So I just kind of net all that gunk, and I just throw it in the universe and transmute it. So, and I'm going to be focusing a lot more on transmuting energy, or negative energy into, and when I say transmuting, it's not positive or negative anymore. It just simply doesn't exist. That's transmuting. It's turning something that's been negative into something that's no longer in existence. So in a way, transmutation, I think, is that third point. You know, it's that it's not black, it's not white, but it's gray. It's gone. And mainly, it's just gone. So okay, so then I also do heart healing. So when I talk about heart healing, I basically go in and work with Archangel Michael to clear away, him using his heavenly vacuum, clear away any negativity in your heart area, and work with Archangel Raphael to fill that area with, usually it's a very beautiful landscape. In my mind, I'm painting it. And it's the energy of these things. It's not like me, like I'm putting Monet into your heart, okay, chakra, okay? It's not that at all. It's, when I say, Raphael, please fill with light, literally, or fill with brownies, literally, Raphael's taking the energy of that light and that brownie and putting it into you, okay? I don't always fill with brownies. It's just an example. But I do like to fill with, sweets, because sweet things make us happy. And so really it's that energy of that happiness that I'm feeling with, okay? So when I talk about fills, okay, once something has been taken out, so say I take out some negative energy, say I'm doing a little defogging work with Archangel Michael, I'll have Archangel Raphael come in and fill around that area with everything that you could possibly imagine that's good. You want to call it unicorns, fairies, magic, horses, sunshine, green grass, blue sky, fill it, okay? And when it comes to fills, I call fills something that you can actually do quite easily if you go outside, especially if you're outside, and you can just say, Archangel Raphael, please fill my energy with the light of the sun, or please fill my energy with this beautiful green grass, and it will uplift you. So if you're feeling quite low, you can say, Archangel Michael, please remove this negative energy from me, and you can say, Archangel Raphael, please fill my energy with all these beautiful things, and they literally will, okay? So that's important. So I recommend people that have either a stressful lifestyle or have a lot of negativity around them to do what I call fills. It's important you get outside and do some fills, okay? If you're worried about it, you don't want to do it by yourself, obviously. You want to contact me and you want to work with me on it. So there's filling, there's heart healing, which I talked about, and on rare occasions, this is something I do have the ability to do and the skill to do, is removing any kind of magic or any negative hoodoo voodoo that has been done, that you feel like has been done to you, okay, by other people. This is not something that I enjoy, okay? This is something that I would do on rare occasions, and I don't feel like it's something that I really like to come in contact with, because it is very, very, very negative. So for those of you who have ever thought about doing magic, something that are hoodoo voodoo, I would really strongly recommend you avoid it, okay? Again, it's the intention. If somebody intends to send you ill will, or whatever, then that's their intention. If somebody is intending to send you love, that's intention as well. So spells are just really, magic is just intention. It's intention. It's the clarity of your vision and intention. So we talk, a lot about manifesting. People talk a lot about manifesting good things, positive things, but then they get disappointed when they don't happen. It is possible that sometimes our clarity of vision isn't, as clear as it could be, but it's also possible, very possible, that the universe has other ideas about what we're supposed to be doing and why we're supposed to be doing it, and there may be karmic issues, fate issues, people that we're supposed to meet. The whole point of the cords of attachment are there so that we learn things from other people. So even cord cutting is something that, again, I'm very cautious to do, because I want to make sure ahead of time that it's not something where you're still learning from it. If a relationship's been dead for like 20 years, definitely cord cutting is amazing, because it's going to lift you. It's going to almost revitalize you, okay? But if you're just out of a relationship, or you're even still in a relationship and you want to cut a cord, these are when I'd want to talk to you more about what's going on. I never really just automatically go in and do something just because a client requests it. Again, I have to do it with integrity and clarity and all that. So again, back to the hoodoo, voodoo, magic, things like that. I do have the ability to break spells, or to all it's doing is working, and I work directly with the angels. I don't do any kind of anti-spells or any candle things. I mean, it's no bells and whistles. It's just with the angels. So I have the ability to do that. But what I need, if that's what's going on, I need the other to know specifically who is sending that negativity. Because sometimes the person might not know who it is, and I might not be able to see it. Mainly because the person that has been sending that negativity has so many what you call shrouds or shields around them that it makes it really hard for my light to even get through. And I might not pick it up. So that's something that's important. People have, contact me about these things, but I need to know who it's coming from in order to make sure it's, any kind of negativity. See, because it's really negativity that I'm removing. It's negativity that I'm removing. People have free will. So I can't control what happens, but I can remove the negativity from what has happened, which is important, okay? And that really is breaking a spell, okay? I also do working with clients to create shields, from any kind of negativity that's coming your way, especially if we know somebody in your life is sending you negativity. Create a shield. I do that quite often. Usually, if somebody's been psychically attacked, I usually prefer to net any negativity and transmute it, and then create the shield. That's kind of how I work. One of the fun things that I do, getting to the fun part, I do Kundalini energy replacement. That's what you might call it. Which is creating new, if you've lost your sex drive, or if you feel like, you're suffering from any kind of low libido, let's just say, okay? This is where I create the Kundalini fire energy, and again, with intention, with the angels, and fill it. It's one of the things that I can fill into someone's energy. And it really does work, okay? It really does. It's energy, so it's just that little tingle of fire that you might not have felt in some time. But a lot of times people who've lost their sex drive, most likely it's because of a cord of attachment, an old cord of attachment, to somebody who's of a very low vibration, and who's just sucking all the energy out of that person via the cord. So I would probably recommend doing the cord removal first, and then filling with the Kundalini energy. That's a lot of times what I do. Usually that's my recommendation. Let me see. What else is on my list? I also have the ability to remove ghosts. Again, it's not something, I'm not like a ghost hunter, okay? I do not go out and I don't do that, okay? But I can tell a lot of times if there is a ghost around you or in a house. I don't do clearing of houses, although I can pick up on things. If a house is negative, I can pick up on like what you need to do to kind of clear your house or clear your space. Okay, I usually recommend if somebody has either like a spell put on their house, that they get someone to go in there and and clear it. Okay, a light worker like me to go in and clear it. But I do the ghost removal where it's calling in Archangel Michael, having him create a portal of light, taking the ghost by the hand, and having the ghost cross. Okay, and I do a lot of times see ghosts. A lot of people have asked me about communicating with deceased loved ones, okay, and people who've passed away. And the thing that I usually tell people is I'm not a medium in this way where I can get full sentences, but I can get messages, okay, from your deceased loved ones. So It really depends on what you're looking for. I usually refer out to a friend of mine who does communicate directly with deceased loved ones and can get all that kind of information. I don't really focus on that, but I do have the ability to get messages and certain things from the deceased loved one. And it just depends on the person too. A lot of times deceased loved ones will show up to me. It'll show to me in different ways, and I have different gifts, so it depends on how they come through. If they come through in a very clear way, where they're showing me signs and stuff and all that, then it's easier. Okay, but if I'm not getting it in my mind, and I just see messages in the cards, then that's not all that I get. Okay. I've also developed, I developed a special dog whistle for the dog spirit. And this also helps if you have, like a ghost situation, to help a very difficult ghost cross. That is something that I've developed. And I also a lot of time work with the dog spirit to send to someone who needs some comforting, who needs some, kind of feeling good. Something that I do. Anything else that I can tell you? Things about me that you might not know. I do work with fairies. It says, okay, and I have the ability to communicate with them. And I have developed a relationship with them. This ability, is more recent. I do work with a spirit guide I call Horse, and a spirit guide that is a unicorn named Baby Blue. I do have a team of deceased loved ones around me, including my grandpa and several of the elders in my family. I have ascended masters around me a lot. Jesus and Gandhi specifically are around me quite a lot. I also have many angels around me a lot. I do have the ability to see auras, but it kind of comes and goes. I can't see it on everybody. And it is kind of a newer development. So yeah, let me see. Something also that you might not know about me is that I completed my karma in January, of 2015. So that means I'm technically an ascended master myself. And the angels call me a golden child. I'm also a star seed, which is a soul that's from another planet who has healing ability, psychic ability, and who has been given a lot of spiritual gifts in order to help assisting in raising the vibration of the planet in the ascension process. Some other things. I have been psychic my whole life, but started practicing tarot 8 years ago. I've always been very sensitive, intuitive. I have my own take on things. I wrote this. I spent a lot of time, energy, and money trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself career-wise, never thinking that this would be something that I would do. I have learned both the tarot and with my healing work through a lot of practice. With regards to my healing work specifically, because a lot of you, you're watching this video regarding the healing work that I do, I have never had anybody complain about any of the healing work that I've ever done. Never once. The healing work usually makes people feel, I always say, high as a kite. Really, really good. And that's the intention. The intention is to make you feel good, to clear away some of the negativity, to brighten up your energy, and to heal you. That's what healing is all about. Let me see if there's anything else that I took some notes on. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. So, feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com, if you'd like to set up a tarot cord cutting session. It is 90 minutes and it is $150. So for that session. And again, if we were to not proceed with any healing work at all, I would issue a credit or a refund, partial refund for the time if you decided not to use it. That's how I work. So hopefully this has given you a little bit more things to think about and more information regarding the tarot cord cutting combo and more about the healing work that I do. Again, just to review, there's two cords. There's the cord of love and there's the cord of attachment. And the cord of attachment happens when, you know, you meet someone and you get attached to them, okay? And you're in a relationship, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time. The cord of love can never be broken by anyone or anything. So it just exists. I will say that if you were to have a cord of love with someone and you can't get somebody out of your mind, even if you remove the cord of attachment, a lot of times you still can't get that person out of your mind. So it is very important to remember that sometimes the cord cutting is part of an issue. It's not the entire issue. I just want to put that out there. And you know, that's just something else to think about. So again, thank you so much for checking out my videos. I am going to be back doing a lot more videos, so stay tuned. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing to all of my videos. I appreciate it so much. So I send you big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care. All the best.